Well, that should explain everything in a moment. Hey, this is Karthik here. We're at Silverstone. That's the racetrack there. But we're here to spend the weekend with MG at the live, and on the sidelines of that, we're getting to spend some time with this, the MG6. And time with it would be a little bit of a stretch. It's more like, actually, not time, but even minutes would be a stretch. We've spent very little time with it. 2 laps out there on the track, and just a little bit gawking at it here in the pit lane. And here's what I can tell you about it straight up front. It's a design that looks different, but at the same time it's not something that's off-putting. I think the front end looks a little bit low. And before I start getting into the car, let's just make this clear. The MG6 is MG's latest product. It's a sedan that's already on sale. This is the left-hand drive version. They brought it down from China, and it's not on the cards right now for India. The first product for India will be an SUV. This is an interesting insight into what MG is like and what we could be getting in terms of feel and character, right? So this is the MG6 Sedan, and this is what I would like to say about the design. It's distinctive, it stands out, but it doesn't put you off, which is in my books a big achievement in itself. The nose, yeah, it could have been a bit tighter, sharper, maybe a bit more square on that front, but I do like how the rear is too. And here's something that people will like about this car, because one of its rivals also has that. I mean, rivals, if and ever it did come to India, in which case, right? So there you go. You know which one I'm talking about, right? The lift back, we love that, right? But as you can see, this is just a little bit narrower than that, but still that's plenty roomy. And yeah, I think lots of practicality there in terms of the boot space. And I'm going to point out something here. You see a badge that says 20T, so you might assume that's 2.0 T turbocharger. It's right, but it's actually a 1.5 turbo engine with about 150 horsepower. I don't have exact specs right now. A closer look at the tail lamps here. It's got LED elements in there, a little sparkle there. I think it looks nice. So again, I'd like to say that it looks different, at the same time nice. So it's managing to stand out, but not for the wrong reasons, right? This kinked shoulder line here, which actually is 2 lines and just overlapping in this region, it's a nice touch. And getting into the back, there's a good amount of room here. I sat inside earlier. The only thing would be like, yeah, the seats are set a little bit low, but there's plenty of headroom, plenty of knee room as well. And for the competition, like let's say the Corolla, the Octavia, as we spoke about earlier, they have, maybe the Corolla of course has a bit more and has a better back seat, but this gets a nice cool design, a little bit sporty. Again, look at that, that's almost like a notchback. It's a fastback shape. And getting into the front, I'm gonna give you a sneak peek about that here. I think that should give you the basic sense of the car. It's a very simple design. It's very European in the way it feels. Even if you look at these smaller things like the textures in use here, and there's soft touch leather bits here, and this is, well, it's actually not bad. It's pretty nice. It doesn't feel plasticky in that sense. And you just look at the way the layout is of the cabin, the cubby holes, everything. It feels very Euro. In fact, reminds me of a VW. But we'll pop over to the other side to see the smaller things like the infotainment system, the wheel up close. Right. So yeah, there you go. See the wheel layout again, very VW-ish in that sense, which is no bad thing. You see the aircon vents here. These are rotary controls, right? But this just feels a little bit flimsy. I mean, a little too light, but it's a nice looking vent for sure. And you look at that screen, that's a massive touch screen. Now the good thing about this is that it's okay. The good thing is that, I mean, the not so good thing is that it's currently this one is running in Chinese. Like I said, this is a left-hand drive car which they've imported into the UK, so it's doesn't have like the UK spec stuff, but smaller details I wish I could show you over here. It has and it uses an OS called Ali OS, which is Alibaba OS in China. It's integrated into just about everything, so you could pay toll, parking charges through that. And they don't really have Google over there, right? So you can't, I mean, you don't get Android Auto over there, but there is Apple CarPlay. Sorry I can't show you that right now, but yeah, here's the instrument cluster, and you can see the dials. Again, a very clean looking display with a large MID in the center, color display at that. And I'm just gonna turn the aircon down if I can. But anyways, you can look at the vents, slim vents here, smartly designed. Yeah, so this feels pretty nice. It also has a sunroof. Quick peek of that over here. Let me see if I can open it up. I do have the ignition switched on, but okay, right now, hang on, maybe I need to switch on the engine. Yeah, the engine switched on. Now let's see. Okay, there we go. Okay, sorry, so I'm gonna skip that part out. I didn't able to get that. So yeah, there you have the sunroof, and yeah, this is a quick look at the car from the inside. Now talking about the engine, I'm gonna pop the hood open and show you that. Right, we drove this car very briefly, so I can tell you a little bit about it. Now this that you see here is the automatic. The engine is a 1.5 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. There you go, TGI. And the automatic is I'm not 100% sure, it's a 6-speed auto, and on the whole it felt like a usable engine that'll be good for everyday kind of driving. Not particularly exciting, but yeah, I mean, it worked well. The gearbox wasn't the quickest, but yeah, I mean, it felt like a sensible car in that sense, which is, well, what a lot of people want and need. So yeah, and I'll quickly shut that down and give you a nice frontal look of the MG6 head on. There you go, and there's two of them right next to it now. Looks pretty nice. Yeah, there you go. So that's the MG6. Quick look, again recapping it. It's a sedan that would be a rival to cars like Toyota's Corolla Altis, the Hyundai Elantra, the Skoda Octavia, right? Those would be the primary rivals, but MG have no plans to bring it to India as of now. We're just getting a taste of it as, you know, the first experience of a modern day MG. And for that, I think it feels interestingly different, sufficiently satisfying in the first few minutes that we've spent with it. But basically, it's like, yeah, we'd like to spend some more time with it. Alright, bye guys.